All right, welcome to restorative class. For the first and the next 5 minutes will be really, this is an invitation for you to get into your body. And so that might look like a downward dog for you today. And that might look like, just like moving your arms, shoulders, head, neck, side twisting. I'll take you through some movements and we'll progressively like work head down to hips. But if you have like a specific area that you're really feeling like, you just kind of want to wiggle or move, please just dive into it. Because I can tell you that's your body speaking to you to get something out, right? And to sort of like get deeper into the practice. So with that, just take a moment to really find that easy seat, ankles crossed, head nice and tall. You can walk your sit bones back a bit. Bring your head up to the sky, and let's start by rolling shoulders. So you can roll both shoulders at the same time, up and back, up and back, up and back, up and back. And then at any time you can switch directions. And these don't need to be big movements. In fact, they can be really, really small. It can be really, really small. And whenever you like, you can kind of just concentrate. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's just like this tiny little circle happening in my right shoulder right now, or your left, right? Just a tiny little circle. Like I'm tracing the diameter, the circumference of a quarter or a silver dollar. And then same thing on the other side. It's like these tiny little circles. And if you're hearing pops and crackles, it's really common as we're getting into this, a lot of vata, like a lot of air energy and wind and change of seasons, right? So just notice those pops and crackles and we'll work with that a bit. And then when you're ready, let's do some sun breath. So inhale, reaching hands up to the sky. Exhale down to the earth. 4 more. Last one, up. Exhale, twist to the right. Pressing seat into the earth, tall in your crown, nice and tall. Breathing in. Exhale to twist. Wrapping shoulders around spine. Turning, drawing your neck over your shoulder. And then pedaling that left shoulder down and back, right? So you can even make those tiny little circles. And so you can get it down and back. So that the twist is coming from your mid section. So just below your ribs, your waist. And you find that seat in the earth, really grounding down in your seat. And grow a little longer in your spine. And twist a little bit more. Let's breathe here. And really allowing yourself to land in this shape, maybe turning a bit more, but letting there be ease here. Letting there be gentleness here. And then turn about, I don't know, a third of the way back. And then I want you to take, so you're looking more towards the right, from your right hip, above your right hip. And then just start to move your upper body. Just like we did those tiny circles with shoulder. You're going to do them now with the upper body. You're churning a bit from the waist and a bit from the heart, if you can get into the heart space more. And it's just this wave-like movement. And what we're bringing here is a really slow lubricating, right? So like moist, and when I say that, I'm talking about like your joints. So inviting in that synovial fluid into your joints, right, to get some fluidity and movement happening. And you can move in the opposite direction if you want. And what you're looking for is just these tiny little movements, activating your inner awareness. And just notice how you feel here. And if you're feeling really stiff, that's okay. It doesn't need to be circles, it just needs to be some kind of just little movement in your upper body. And then you can add your head if you'd like. And head, we're not going to do head circles tonight beyond what we do on each side. So, you might find on one side you want these big sweeping circles, but also try to bring just like just a little circle tracing with your nose. Like maybe you calm the upper body and come into stillness in the body and just trace a circle in the air with your nose. And make sure to move in both directions. And you can feel just this invitation towards gentleness. We're entering into a season that needs gentleness. And that might be gentleness of the mind. And it might be gentleness in the body. Making any less movements in this direction. Neck, head, shoulders, upper body, mid body, weave like movement. And then when you're ready, you can switch sides. So we'll sweep hands up to the sky. And then twist over to the left. Starting with that seated twist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twisting. And again, beginning here, maybe pedaling back that right shoulder. If you notice that stiffness, that gripping in the season and the world and life and time of year, it's easy to feel that need to control. And one of the ways that manifests in the body is through a gripping, like a tightening, which biochemically leads to stress. Right? So unnecessary stress. So what you want to do is somehow release a bit of that tight grip, that fist, and just begin to unfold a bit. Just one finger at a time, right? One joint at a time, one shoulder at a time. So allowing the right shoulder to draw down the back, allowing the gaze to turn over the left shoulder, allowing the sits bones to be anchored into the earth. And then when you're ready, you can turn again about a third of the way back and bring your hand about a third of the way back. So still behind your left hip. And we'll start to bring that movement into the waist, making those circles, opening up the spine. Almost like a serpentine movement, right? Very circular in motion. And again, at any time, you can start to bring that motion more up into your heart space, letting the heart lift and open. And really letting this be yours. This is the beauty of a home practice, right? Is that you can get into these more interesting, right? These more intuitive movements without any concern or even awareness, right? That there's other people around you, right? Like this can really just be yours. And, at any time you can bring it into the head, the neck. Again, maybe it looks more like just a little bit of movement in the head. Maybe it's tracing those quarter size, well, silver dollar size circles in the air and stilling the body so that this can be all about just a subtle movement in your neck. And you might even notice the channels start to open up in your body. So maybe like you even feel, a little release in your neck and in your throat. And try to discover a place where you hear a little bit of a pop or a crackle or some kind of like biofeedback that you're opening things up. And just take a few more breaths in any kind of movement here. Right, so it's probably going to look different on each side. And that's the beauty of this practice. You get to discover it. Right, like, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Let's finish up our movement here. And then come back to center. And we'll take right arm across the body and hug it in with left arm. And just open up through the shoulder, but just a light shoulder opener. Bring your attention to your breath. And when you're ready, you can switch sides. And there's the pops and crackles. You might find during this particular practice today that at some point you just feel this more like release or rush of openness. It might not happen for you at all, but be aware that it may. It may. And when you're ready, bringing right hand down onto the earth, left arm sweeps up and over. Opening up through the ribs, gazing up to the sky. You can even add a little bit of circular movement here if you'd like. And then when you're ready, bringing left hand onto the earth, right hand sweeps up and over. Breathing into that openness. You can see how a lot of the subtle movements that we make open up the body a bit. Occur through this deeper attention and awareness of what's happening inside. Right, we're still in the same seat, and yet You may feel, right, that so much has shifted for you already. Let's come up through center, sweep hands up to the sky one more time. Breathe in. Exhale, bringing hands to your heart. Perfect. Hands onto knees. I'm just going to do a few circles from the waist. From the waist. You can even bring, a little rock in your hips if you'd like. And again, really slow, like a slow motion hula hoop. Switch directions whenever you want. And again, you might start to feel the channels just kind of open up in the back of your body. Yeah, you can even move into more of like a cat and a cow. So inhale, heart arching forward, exhale, rolling back. That might feel nice. Again, here we're discovering, we're opening, we're inviting. Let's take 3 more breaths. Any other movement you'd like to make to enter a bit more into practice? I love the pops and crackles. And when you're ready, you can come to your center. This time we'll sweep hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we'll stay here, closing eyes, dropping chin, taking a moment to set an intention. Gosh, and let this intention be as powerful as you'd like it to be. We're almost at a full moon. The full moon is a great time to offer all of your dreams, hopes, desires, wishes, offering it all to the moon. Trusting in the fullness and the abundance that is available to you. And that wish could be something, right, like that you're trying to bring in. It could be something that you're trying to release. The time following the full moon is about release and letting go and shedding. What can you offer to the moon? What stress can you release and offer to the moon? What hope for yourself can you offer to the moon? And you let that land in your heart, and maybe throughout this practice, you continue to come back to what else you'd like to offer to the moon, you'd like to give up, like to set free. And together we'll open with a nice big letting go breath. You can bring your hands onto your body. Let's breathe in together. Sigh it out. Perfect. Bringing your right knee forward, we're going to sweep left knee to the right foot. Shin is parallel with the side edge of your mat or the front edge of your mat. Left knee is in the arch of your right foot, and your heel is in line with your knee. And we're going to turn just slightly in the 45-degree angle towards your right knee. Find length in your spine, breathe in. And on your exhale from your heart, you're going to fold down towards your thigh. Inhale, slowly roll back up. Head is the last thing to reach. As you breathe in, exhale, heart dives forward and you fold. And inhale up. Now you can do this in the opposite way. So maybe leading from the nose like a dolphin, you can dive forward over your knee and then inhale, sweep heart open and up. I find that sometimes on each side, or just different times, there's different practices. I want a different circular movement. And so again, here we are in a more intuitive, breath-based movement and experience. And you can really take your time to follow breath and come into this movement. And at any time, you can have your bolster handy or bolster nearby. and bringing it out at the angle so that your knee is pointing towards its center. You can, when you're ready, dive yourself forward and maybe even start to frame your forearms around the bolster, and maybe even just rest your head or your chin on the bolster. And if this is not comfortable, you can also bring the bolster more perpendicular to your thigh and turn a bit more. But I wanted to start with just like a slightly lesser angle, just a little bit more in the outer hip to begin. And so if we stay in line with the point of the knee, you can really get there a bit more. So maybe rather than using the bolster, you can bring your head down onto a block. And this is where we begin to ground in seasons of change. And anytime you have a lot of wind or movement in the air, movement in routines, it's especially important to bring in two elements, right? To just counterbalance the exterior conditions and even the interior conditions, right? Your internal conditions in your life and in your mind and in your body. And those two balancing qualities are grounding, right? So earthiness, heaviness. Think of a weighted blanket. Think of a nice deep hip stretch to really get into your grounding, right? Your ground, your legs, your foundation, your hips. And to be closer to the earth. More in the feeling than in the words of the feeling, or the words that describe the feeling. It's getting into the earth. And then the other quality that you want to bring in is moisture. And so we're doing that through a lot of movement in the joints, a lot of small, slow movements in the joints, lubricating the system with synovial fluid. That shows up when we start to bring movement into the body. Another way that you can bring moisture in is to make sure that you are drinking a warm tea, or making sure that water is entering your system at least room temperature or warmer, and that you are hydrating enough. And then one other way that you can bring that hydration in is through oil and self-massage. Even just bringing oil onto the soles of your feet before bed, grounding into the feeling of the earth. Let's take one more breath in this side. And slowly let it go. Using hands to slowly come up to your seat. You can bring hands behind hips. Take feet out nice and wide, and windshield wiper knees side to side. Perfect. And then we'll drop knees over to the right or over to the left. And now we turn to the point of the left knee. And right shin, right knee and ankle are in line. Right knee in that arch of the left foot, turning towards the point of the left knee. Inhale to lengthen, and maybe it's a fold of your heart forward and a rounding up. Letting your exhale allow you to fold, letting the inhale pick you back up again. And if you want, you can do that dolphin dive, tucking your nose down, inhaling or exhaling down, inhaling up. almost like you're scooping from the earth. It can be hard sometimes to have lots of options available to you. So if you're not sure, you just pick one, right? There's no right or wrong. Do a few breaths in each. Oscillate between the two until your body finds its natural rhythm. So much so that the rhythm becomes more powerful than the thought about what to do. And when you're ready, and again, maybe grab a bolster or a block, you have it available to you so that as you dive yourself to fold over now the left knee, I have some support underneath you to just open up through the outside of the hip and really soften through the neck and shoulders. And allow yourself to ground into this shape. Becoming more aware of the bones in your body. And can you begin to bring more rest and groundedness and earthiness into this experience? Beginning to encourage your thoughts to slow down. It may not be available to clear your mind altogether, so maybe just stay on one topic in your mind and in your thoughts. One topic. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And the beauty of where we are, already so close to the earth, coming onto the back, make sure that you have a strap handy. And if you want a little support behind your head, you can set that up for yourself. And when you're ready, just turn, turn, turn. You can come through windshield wipering your knees if you'd like, and we'll make our way down onto the back. Yes, take your feet nice and wide, knock knees together. We'll just take a few moments to allow that to settle. And again, if you are feeling the urge to move, um, as long as it is intentional, maybe you can just start to circle through your knees side to side, or straighten legs. So we're going to come into a leg stretch next, but there might be some movement that you need to do to just feel a little bit more grounded and present. And like, if there is ever a time, to go off script, yoga class, restorative yoga class is it. As long as you're not doing chaturangas. Which I'm sure we could find a way to bring in and call it restorative if we wanted to, right? Really just being more present with your body. Letting anything that it calls for, asks for, the process of bringing yourself more into yourself. When you're ready, you can grab your strap, bring it into your right hand, and send your right leg up to the sky. Now, left foot can stay on the earth. And if you want, crawl your both hands as close to your foot as you can, and then wrap that strap around the palms of your hands so that heel can press up to the sky. And then your arm bones can just be heavy. You can even wiggle your shoulders to make sure that they're more like cooked spaghetti noodles rather than dry spaghetti. Right? Isn't that a nice metaphor for speaking of Vata season, right? Or this like cool dryness, right? We want loose cooked spaghetti, heaviness and wetness. And so if you'd like, we'll continue through this leg series. You can wrap the strap in the left hand. And especially for restorative, we'll just dial this in a bit. So right arm can come out to the right, and maybe palm is on the earth, right? Just to, again, affirm that groundedness. And then take the right leg just a couple of inches over to the left. So both hips stay on the ground. We're not looking for big movement here. We're looking for deeper movement, deeper strikes, deeper sensation, deeper feelings. And that can come from underdoing, right? From doing a little bit less. Right? Or noticing how if I pull my toes just a little bit closer towards the top of my head, I get a much deeper sensation here. Right? We're only here for a few breaths, so you can deepen into this a bit, but again, only if it benefits diving deeper into yourself, connecting deeper with yourself, feeling grounded and centered and supported. And then coming back through center, bringing strap now into right hand. And again, I urge you to take as little movement as possible as you bring right leg out to the right. Pulling that strap back towards your body. My bicep is engaged here, drawing it back, opening up through the inside of the leg. And only bringing it open to the degree that allows just a little bit of sensation. And grounding down through the other side. So often in this shape, my left hand is on my left hip right now, and I'm really anchoring through the hips down towards the earth. I open, open, open to the other side. Bringing ease here as much as you can. Two more breaths. And slowly coming up through center. Release the strap, drop it along your sides, and just hug. Grab your right shin and draw it in towards your chest. Super easeful here. Again, left foot can be on the earth. Now you just hug your arm bones, allow them to be drawn by gravity. Allow length in the back of your neck. Can you ground down into your shoulders, to your back body? And when you're ready, you can release right leg, bring left knee into chest. We'll start opposite on the other side, so just hugging left knee into chest. Allowing our bones to be heavy, firming your connection with the earth. Usually it's somewhere on the second side where that just openness really starts to allow spaciousness to occur in the body. You deserve to be in good relationship with your body. And allowing it to be in need of care. We all crave being cared for. It's that feeling of community and support. Like you're not alone. And when you're ready, you can grab that strap, wrap it around the heel or the ball of your left foot. Walk your hands up towards your foot and allow your arm bones to be heavy, drawing, letting gravity allow you to pull back down towards your body. Noticing your breath, allowing the breath to be long and slow. When you're ready, bringing the strap into right hand or into left hand and taking it just an inch or two over to the right. Just enough to really lengthen through the outside of your left leg, the whole leg. Allowing sensation to fill the experience of the shape. And when you're ready, opening up the leg, taking it out to the left, nice and slow, and really just pausing as soon as you feel sensation. You have nothing but time. Of more time than you need. And if you allow yourself to hold back a bit, then the body can really, really relax and fold in a much more deep and powerful way. And you're ready, bringing left leg back up through center. Releasing strap, hugging knee, bringing both knees into chest. And let's just make some circles with knees and ankles together. Really now massaging through the lower back, moving in both directions. And when you're ready, let's just starfish. So sending legs long, stretching arms up a bit overhead, getting as big and as expansive as you can be. Just pause here, feeling big, expansive, open, supported, grounded, connected, present. When our minds are in the vata condition, right? That change, that energy, that windiness, that airiness, right? Thinking forward, um, leading to anxiousness, uncertainty, agitation, even. The way we counteract, the way we balance that in our yoga practice and in our lives is through coming back to the groundedness of present moment. In the present, we can find that everything is okay. Right now, in this moment, we have the privilege and the opportunity to introspect, to dive into self. And right now, in this present moment, everything is okay. And that doesn't mean, right, that there aren't things to address or change or to grow in, but right now, what is the goodness that you can find? What is the goodness that you can hold on to? And I want you to carry that with you, reaching for blocks, making as little movement as you can. Let's bring soles of feet together with knees out wide. Bringing hand onto navel, hand onto heart, maybe sending arms up overhead, maybe grounding down, pressing palms into the earth. You want to feel in a position, or hands on hips, feel in a position to receive or to ground in, to feel the strength of gravity as you pulls you towards this present moment. The yogis say that suffering comes by living in the future and the unknown, by trying to predict, or living in the past and continuing to re-experience things that have harmed or hurt us in the past. And the yogis teach us that in this present moment, even when the world is not ideal, even though when there is strife and conflict around us, uncertainty around us, that here, that right now, there is goodness, there is gentleness, there is love. Hold on to your present moment. Let the goodness fill you up. And slowly we'll draw knees back together. If you have a medium-sized blanket to bring in between your knees, you can bring it with you. You can even use a bolster. I'll demonstrate with a bolster. We're going to turn onto right side and bring left knee up onto the bolster. And pillow your head with the blanket and laying on your side and rest. Land there and breathe. As we enter into the easeful, releasing, fully restorative invitation, which is this practice and this shape. What can you shed, release, let go of? And slowly, with as little movement as possible, turn and roll onto the other side, bringing right knee onto the support. Left leg is long, resting on your left side, allowing yourself to find ease and release and support. Breathing in and out. Slowly coming back through center, using your bolster if you'd like, setting yourself up for your final resting shape. I'll give you two options for this particular practice. You can rest fully on the earth in your corpse pose, arms long, legs long, fully receptive and receiving and releasing. And if you're feeling the urge to just get a little bit more support in the belly, ribs, hips, pelvis, then you can turn over onto your stomach and come into a crocodile, right? Just resting your head and your arms and letting your legs, still point out wide, letting your heels splay out to the sides and resting on the earth. Entering into your Shavasana, your final resting pose, with an offering for yourself, offering ease as you slowly approach the full moon, offering a gift of openness, of abundance, of joy, ease, of well-being, and diving into that feeling. What does it mean to offer the well-being and that feeling of well-being to yourself? And what can you shed? What can you release? Allows the feeling of well-being to soak into your tissues. Slowly beginning to deepen your breath. Bending knees, rolling to a side, passing in your transition to feel yourself on the earth. When you're ready, slowly coming up to a seat, keeping your eyes closed if you can, crossing ankles, head is tall, hands are at heart center. Coming back to your intention, feeling into your body, feeling into it. Notice the shifts, the differences. Noticing the openness, the freedom, the expression, right, available to you here. And together, we'll seal this practice with a final Om. Let's take a breath in. Bringing thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Together, we'll take a final breath in. On our exhale, as we bow, we say, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope that you sleep well. I hope that you rest well. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and your week. And I'll see you again soon. Be well. Namaste.